Okay, hello, dear students. Good morning to all of you. Now we can start our today's politics. Yesterday, or the previous class, we have discussed the first form of power sharing. Okay, by this today's class, we are discussing the remaining three forms of power sharing: second, third, and fourth form of power sharing. Okay, you can see that the second type of power sharing or the forms of power sharing here, power shared among governments at different levels. Their power was shared among governments in the different level. Each and every democratic country there had different level of government is there. The one government is for the entire country or so-called general government. Okay, the name of this general government is varies from one country to another country. Sometimes it is called as national government. Some other countries it is called as union government. Some other countries it is called as central government, etc. In our India, we are generally called this government as central government or sometimes as union government. So after the giving some power to central government, then also there are the second form of government is there. This is state government. Okay, the name of the state government also varies from in the different countries. Okay, some countries are using regional government like Sri Lanka. Okay, but some other countries are using the provincial government like Pakistan. Some other countries are using the state government like India and Belgium, etc. Okay, so there had sometimes there will provide the again or the third level of the power sharing, especially our India provide the third level of power sharing to the local self-government. So here the power is shared in vertical order from higher to lower level. Here power is divided or shared in vertical level from higher to lower level. So this system of the power sharing is also known as vertical division of power sharing. And also here how the power is shared between these two government or the central government, state government, another local government. So this is a form of the federal form of power sharing. This is a form of for a kind of the federal form of power sharing. So the second form of power sharing is also called federal division of power sharing. Okay, we will discuss further about this second form of power sharing on the next second chapter. Okay, then now we are moving to the third one. The third form of power sharing, you can see that power may be also shared among different social groups. Okay, here is the power is shared among the different social groups such as linguistic groups, religious groups, caste groups, etc. What are the different types of the social groups in that country? To give the power for such social groups also, if it is necessary. Okay, such form of power sharing is called power share among different social groups. Okay, for example, in the case of the community government in the Belgium, it is very good example or a best example for the social group power sharing. The community government of the Belgium is based on the language or linguistic French, Dutch, and German. Each of these three language group have their own separate government so it is the power sharing arrangement for the social group. Similarly, our country India also provides the power sharing to the social group in the form of the reserved seats for the backward sections of the people from the SC, scheduled caste, ST, scheduled tribe, and also in the local self-government elections. Our constitution provides the seat reservation for the women according to 1/3 of the total seat is reserved for the women. So this is also a kind of power sharing to the social group in Indian case. So in short, What is the benefit of the power sharing to this social group? Through this power sharing to the social group or the backward people, they will also come forward in the administration. They also have the chance to get the participation in the administration as well as the state participation of the governmental decisions. Moreover, they have get a feel of alienation. Moreover, they didn't have a feel of alienation because they have collective or inclusive in the system. Okay, there is no loneliness or alienation for the such backward people. Okay. Then now we are going to discuss about the fourth form of power sharing, the power shared among different political parties, pressure groups and movements. This is the fourth form of power sharing. The political parties are very inevitable element in a democratic country. Okay, it is very inevitable element in a democratic country. So each and every democratic country provides chance the political parties to contest in the election and to form the government. Yes. So there is no doubt at all to think about the power sharing or arrangements towards the political parties. The political parties are using different methods in the election and forming the government. Sometimes the political parties are contesting the election in single level, but in the majority of the democratic countries, the political parties are competing in the election by creating an alliance between 3 or 4 or more number of the political parties. They are forming an alliance or a group, and they are conducting the election. After their success or after their victory in the election or the majority seat they have got in the election, they will form a government. Such government is called a coalition government. Okay, so this is the case of the political parties. The political parties plays a very crucial role in the democratic country. And also, present there was no more ideological differences. Even though each and every political parties have their own ideologies and their own policies, but anyway, the people will choose the political parties which political parties needed to form the government or to come to the role. So actually people are the real rulers in a democratic country. And another is pressure groups. The pressure group is also called as interest group. Again, the pressure groups are the groups that didn't compete in the election. They did not participate in the election, but they were influenced on the governmental meetings and committees to take the decision-making process. They didn't participate in the election. Okay, but even though they were attending the government meeting and other committee meetings of the government to decide or to influence on the decision making process in favor of them. Okay, for example, the farmers group, businessmen group, teachers group, students groups, then different other workers group, industry group, etc. Okay, there are different pressure groups are in our country and all in the different countries of the world. So they are using their power in such a way to bring the policies and laws of the government in favor of them. Okay. Then the third one is movement group. The movement groups are the emerged as a spontaneous level. They were emerged as a sudden level in a particular issue. When a particular issue has will occur in that time to resist or to defend such a particular issue, the people will gather and form the protest. This is called a movement group. Okay, this movement group also no need to, or they also didn't participate in the election. But they also tried to use the struggle and strike against the governmental decision to bring favor for them. Okay, this is the situation of the power sharing towards political parties. pressure groups and movements. So in short, these four forms of power sharing: power shared among different organs like legislature, executive and judiciary; power shared among different levels of government like central, state government and local government, etc., and power shared among different social groups like SC, ST, women, etc. And then power shared among different political parties as well as the movement group and the pressure group, etc. See, these four forms of power sharing was very clearly implemented in our India by Indian Constitution. Still also, we are following these four forms of power sharing in most of the democratic countries of the world, also following this form of the power sharing. In the Belgium also we already studied different form of the government are there, and community government is for social group, and executive and judiciary also is there, as well as different political parties are there. So most of the democratic countries of the world are following these four forms of the power sharing. Okay, that's all. Our first chapter from the political science is over. Okay, on the next class we will discuss the history first chapter. Okay, now we can stop this class. Thank you for all. Good morning.